Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2023-24 season. My name is Dan and today I have got my latest draft for you. I want to share it with you guys because it's starting to look really good and really shape up ready for the start of the season. So guys, if you do enjoy this one, make sure you drop a like, make sure you subscribe as well if you are serious about your FPL, which I know you are. We're going to do daily content, but let's have a look at this team first of all. All right. We have got 1.5 million in the bank because I've only spent 98.5 on this team. So I'm flexing on you guys a little bit. I got a bit of money in the bank. This is going to be definitely something I enjoy. Let's start off in goal. We have got Sam Johnston. So this is the goalkeeper who I've been speaking about a little bit recently in recent videos for good reason, putting up the best numbers per start of any 4.5 million goalkeeper last year, and actually one of the top scoring goalkeepers in terms of per game out there, really. So compared to like Alisson and, you know, all of the other top tier goalkeepers, Ramsdale, he's all the way up there. He's right up there. So yeah, hoping for some regular saves from him. He averages just under 3 saves per game, 0.5 bonus point per game as well, and keeping a clean sheet every third game, which is really, really good stuff. And that's kind of what makes the 4.5 million goalkeepers, those high scoring goalkeepers. We have it every single year. A 4.5 million goalkeeper always kills it. This year, I think it is going to be Johnston. I really do. Could also be maybe Flecken. I'm kind of looking there potentially. Once Raya is gone from Brentford, I'll maybe look at Flecken once more, and I could potentially switch to Onana. We have got that money in the bank, but right now I still am on Johnston, to be fair. So he is going to be in the team. Into defence, guys, we have got Ben Chilwell. So last time I actually had Reece James in my team, and I still do want to go for a Chelsea defender because I know the Pochettino left and right back really do go very far forward. They really are very attacking players, and we know these two players are perfect just for that role, for getting goals, for getting assists, for getting in and around the box. But having watched a couple of friendlies from Chelsea now, I'm kind of seeing that there is a left side dominance. We are seeing that the left back, whoever it is really, really getting involved for Chelsea. And when Chilwell is on the pitch, he looks super advanced. And actually, Reece James is a little bit more defensive compared to his teammate on the other side. So if we're looking for those attacking returns, if we're looking for those 15 pointers, I definitely think Chilwell could do that, particularly in those really nice fixtures like West Ham, Luton, Nottingham Forest. These are some super good fixtures. We get clean sheets and attacking returns in this game, then we are absolutely laughing and getting mega scores in this slight differential player to go for. Even that Liverpool game, last 4 games for Chelsea versus Liverpool have been 0-0 draws. So if we get another one there, then yeah, that's going to be a nice 6-pointer for Chilwell, which is fine by me. Purvis Estupiñán up next. He's been in every single one of my drafts. He is not leaving. He is a player who I definitely want for these opening 3 fixtures where clean sheets are very much on the cards, and Estupiñán obviously has a lot of attacking potential there as well. After that, we may look to move Estupiñán on because the fixtures for Brighton do start to get a little bit difficult from game week 4 onwards, and also we do have European football that Brighton are going to have to contend with as well. So maybe a little bit of rotation, but for the start of the season, should be absolutely nailed on, should be picking up points for absolute fun. Let's move on to our third and final defender, who is going to be Gabriel. So Gabriel of Arsenal against Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace and Fulham in the opening 3. Could be 3 clean sheets in 3. I think the clean sheets are back on the cards for Arsenal with Rice now in the team. Saliba is back in defence. All looking very, very good. But the reason I'm going for Gabriel is because he has attacking threat from those set pieces. So Forest, Crystal Palace, Fulham, 3 teams that actually concede a lot of goals, or a lot of the goals they do concede, they concede them from set pieces. So Gabriel is going to be on the end of these corners, the main target man for headers, by far the main target man for those headers in the box. And honestly, I'm expecting him to get at least 1 goal in these first 3 games. I know that sounds a little bit out there, a little bit ambitious to expect a goal from a centre-back, but I can see it already. Mega scores from Chilwell, Estupiñán and Gabriel in these opening game weeks. I think at least 2 of them in this first 4 fixtures are going to get a 15-pointer. I can see it coming. I foresee it. They're just perfect. It's just perfectly primed for them to do this. Into midfield, guys, we've got Marcus Rashford, who is still in my draft somehow. Last time I made a team selection video, I kind of said, Rashford, I'm not 100% sure if I want him in my team or not. I'm growing in confidence a little bit, partly because Man United still have not signed a striker. So, therefore, Rashford is probably going to start the season as the central number 9 guy, which could be pretty nice. And I really do like that fixture against Spurs. I think Spurs could be easily exploited by Manchester United. United. And I feel like Rashford will be the player who's benefiting from that the most. So a little bit template, a lot of people going for him. I'm taking risks in certain areas of my team, but in other areas, I do want to go a little bit template there. Rashford was pretty much essential for a lot of last season, so it does make sense that he would be in my team again this year. Next up, we've got Saka, another player who is heavily owned, so another fairly template player. After this, we do start to go a little bit different. Don't worry, guys. I've not changed my ways. I'm still a little bit of a fun and interesting FPL manager, I hope. But yeah, we haven't got Saka. Hopefully still on penalties, despite that miss in the friendlies. I don't think it will change that much. Players miss penalties. Great penalty takers miss penalties. Messi, Salah, whoever. So I don't think it's going to affect Saka at all. He should still be on penalties there. But in the friendly against Barcelona, he actually looked really, really good. And actually far more direct than I was expecting from him. So growing in confidence in Saka rather than losing it, to be honest. Even if he's off penalties, I still feel like he's a really, really good pick. We've got Bruno Fernandes up next. Similar situation with Rashford. I want these Man United players against the likes of Wolves, Spurs and Forest. I think these are going to be really good opportunities to get some high scores. Fernandes massively underperforming for the majority of last season, and this season I feel like he is going to be making good of those numbers that he has been making good of in the past, getting more assists, scoring more goals, and hopefully a few more penalties for Manchester United this season as well, because they didn't really get many last year. But it's nice to have another penalty taker in the team. I'm trying to pick at least a few penalty takers, but Fernandes is just one of them, so he is in the team. 25% ownership, so I feel like some people are overlooking him, but still pretty popular. We've got Martinelli next, and I'm still on the Martinelli over Gabriel Jesus hype train. We're still on Martinelli over Jesus. I just feel like Martinelli is a better finisher. So yes, Jesus gets a couple more opportunities to score, but in general, Martinelli is far more direct, and that's kind of what I want. I want a direct player who is a good finisher, who's going to be involved in the attacking returns. And we've got some great fixtures for Arsenal for a long time. We know this. I want the best Arsenal players. I consider Martinelli to be Arsenal's best goal scorer, and I'm tipping him for a 20-goal season this year. He is only going to get better. He's got heaps of potential, and hopefully he's going to continue to prove that and continue to improve year upon year upon year. If he does, we're going to have a nut season from him, and I don't want to bet against him, so I'm not going to. He's in the team. And finally, we've got Brian and Mbeumo in midfield, and yeah, you guys have noticed it correctly. We've got no Brighton midfielders in this current team. The reason I've gone for Mbeumo rather than a Caldo Mitoma or a Solly March, potentially, is because one, I like the fixtures for a longer term, so it's a player who I will be able to keep for a little bit longer. I think Mbeumo is much more nailed on. He's not going to get rotated, and he's not going to be subbed off at 60 or 70 minutes. He's going to play the majority of games because he is one of the talismans alongside Yohan Wissa in that attack. By far the most attacking winger of the two wingers. He'll be cutting inside. He's on some set pieces as well, taking some corners. But Mbeumo is also on penalties for Brentford, which I think is a very important factor to consider. So we've got another penalty taker. We get him for just 6.5, and he offers stuff in open play as well. This Spurs game, I think, is a real opportunity for your Brentford players. So I kind of, again, I know it sounds like I'm targeting Spurs. At the start of the season, I kind of am, because I feel like they're going to go out, be aggressive, and not quite have everything sorted straight away. It's going to take them a few weeks to get into the right flow of things. And I think in the opening few weeks, there's going to be some big scores at Tottenham Hotspur. So therefore, Mbeumo, I feel like he could potentially make good of that. He's got great fixtures after that. We've got the likes of Fulham. We've got Bournemouth there as well in the opening four. I feel like if anyone is going to score well for Brentford, it's going to be between Mbeumo, it's going to be between Yohan Wissa, and Rico Henry is another player I've got my eye on as well, which we'll maybe talk about him shortly. But yeah, no Brighton players. I know I'll have to transfer the Brighton players out eventually anyway because of European football and a massive fixture swing. The Brighton players, there's just so many great attackers of similar quality in that club that I think there's going to be heavy rotation. I am just not confident enough in them right now. Maybe that will change as we approach deadline. Maybe I'll try and go a little bit safer as we approach deadline. But right now, I'm on Mbeumo. Let's see if I can stick that one out. Up front, we've got Erling Haaland, as always. Not going to keep speaking about him because I think we're all bored about hearing about him. His ownership, by the way, guys, is increasing every single day. Every single day, he gets higher and higher ownership. He could, seriously, by the Game Week 1 deadline, he could be 90% owned. Like, it's absolutely unreal, really. So, therefore, if everyone's got Erling Haaland, we may as well go a little bit different for our other forward, right? And we have got We got Nicholas Jackson. I'm sorry, Nick Jackson. I am for real. We've got him in our team. 7 million and 4.2 selected right now. He's looked so good in pre-season. I've been watching Chelsea a lot in pre-season, and I know everyone's kind of thinking, yeah, Nkunku, it was the player I was, we're all keeping our eye out on. We were all having a look at Nkunku and thinking, yeah, good price, 7.5 million. Let's see what he can do. Will he be the new main man at Chelsea? Well, Nicholas Jackson has absolutely really outshone him so far this preseason. He looks the real deal. I've been watching some clips of him from last season as well. He's just a really composed finisher. He is strong. He is quick. I feel like he can really get in behind that Liverpool defence on the counter-attack for Chelsea. I feel like Liverpool could be exploited there, and Nicholas Jackson could do really, really well. I'm very impressed by this player, and I didn't expect to be saying that when we started the kind of pre-season content, but he's really growing on me. It is a risk. It is definitely a risk because he is very new to the Premier League, but I think he has what it takes to succeed, and I kind of want to take a punt on a player or two. It's what keeps FPL fun, and I feel like by game week 2 or 3, everyone is going to be having a much closer look at Nicholas Jackson. I feel like people are worried about his game time. I think he's done enough. I think he's done enough and proven that he's worthy of being in that Chelsea starting 11, starting against Liverpool in that number 9 position. He could be like insane. And by the time we get to Luton Town, everyone is going to be buying this guy. I'm trying to get one step ahead with the prediction that this guy is going to be like a new superstar in the Premier League. And you get him for 7 million. And if things go wrong, I can switch to Ollie Watkins. I can switch to Gabriel Jesus if I mix my Arsenal players up a little bit. I can go to Nkunku if I want to. I can go for the Newcastle forwards. There's still so many options. I've got money in the bank, and it's a good price point, around 7 million as well. Go down to Johan Wissa if I want to as well for game week 2 against Fulham. That could work. Like, there's just a lot of options. So first of all, we're going to stick with Nick Jackson. Let's see again. He is super differential. Am I willing to take that risk and go for him? Well, someone's got to take that risk, and why not me? On the bench, guys, we've got Bentley, potentially get some game time for Wolves in goal. We've got Rico Henry, who I've been really impressed with him in pre-season. When I say I'm impressed with players in pre-season, by the way, I'm not necessarily talking about just them getting goals or assists, but I'm looking at systems. And when I'm looking at the system at Brentford, there seems to be, again, like Chelsea, but even more, a left side dominance. We're seeing Henry actually overlapping a lot, actually cutting inside and going inside his left winger as well. He is super attacking. He's constantly in and around the box and getting forward and staying forward as well, which is really, really interesting. So I feel like he could be a really good kind of attacking defender to go for. Again, for 4.5 million as well. Got some really nice fixtures. He can come in for the likes of a Stupinian during those tougher fixtures if he needs to, or if Chilwell is like, rotated or something in certain games, then I have Henry that I'd be confident and happy in starting him, unlike the likes of Botman or Pau Torres, who sometimes have some difficult fixtures. Henry has pretty much good fixtures all the way, so I'd be more confident in having him on the bench when I'm taking a risk on a player like Chilwell, but that's just me. We've got Bulldog here as well, 4 million defender, wing back for Sheffield United, should be pretty good. Just tick along with those nice 2-pointers, occasional 6-pointer. We've got Mbama here as well, which is probably, for me, one of the most interesting picks. He's super low ownership. Basically, he has been told, you're not going out on loan, you're going to stay at the club, you're going to compete for a place in the starting 11 for West Ham. Obviously, he's a 4.5 million forward, been doing really well in pre-season, really, really impressing, and he's really genuinely making a play to start for West Ham, despite the fact we've got Antonio there. Obviously, some of these players getting a little bit older, maybe not performing the strikers at West Ham so much last season. Mbama could be the solution to a lot of the problems West Ham are having at the moment, so really interested to see what he can do. So I'm going to take a punt on him, leave him on the bench. There's no real risk in going for him. Probably not going to drop down in price because hardly any people are picking him, and I feel like he has high upside and genuine potential to break into that West Ham starting 11, and I want to be ahead of it. I want to have him before everyone else realises and goes for him. So there we go, guys. That is the team. Obviously, we have got a big risk in not going for any Brighton attackers in this team, which maybe I changed my mind on. But right now, I'm struggling to see, one, who is going to be starting regularly, any player is going to make it past the 60 or 70-minute mark, and also where are the attacking returns going to come from? Is it going to be Welbeck? Is it going to be João Pedro? Is it going to be Mitoma? Is it going to be March? Is it going to be Enciso? Is it going to be Ferguson? Where are the returns going to come from? They can come from pretty much anywhere in that Brighton attack. There's so many players that all could chip in here and there. And right now, until I can figure out which player is going to be someone I'm actually really confident in, right now that's not Mitoma. Then Mbeumo is in the team. But I guess things could change. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? This is just another draft. We've got money in the bank, but I'm building towards something. This is not a final team. This is a team I am building and trying to build towards my final team. And I feel like we are really getting there. Some of these players have been sticking around for some time now. We have got the bones of the team. We just need to finish it. We've got 2 weeks to go. Let's see what we can do. Before we go, I have also just loaded up my team in the My Team tool as well, just to see if we can get a rating on this bad boy. We got 94%, which is very good. Again, a really decent percentage there to get 94%. So basically, this is the Fantasy Football Hub My Team tool, and it basically tells you with artificial intelligence, with machine learning, it predicts how many points players are going to get. It predicts who's going to be a good pick, who's going to be a bad pick, who's going to be your best captain, etc, etc. This team is predicted 65.4 points, which is very, very nice indeed, particularly considering how differential it is. Usually, if you go differential, you do see your team rating drop. The template teams usually score the best on this. So if you can get a 90+ team rating and include a couple of your own little bits of spice and differential, then I think that you could really, really succeed in FPL this year and really get off the blocks, get out of the blocks really, really fast and do well. Nicholas Jackson and Chilwell are obviously players who are not very highly rated with these opening 2 fixtures, but I feel like Nicholas Jackson, if he can prove himself as a starting player, his predicted points are going to go from the likes of, 3.5, 3.4, 3.6 to like 4.5, 5, 5.5 if he starts, gets that regular playing time, which I'm predicting he is going to do. That's why I'm picking him in my team. So yeah, team's looking very good. 94% team rating. Be interested to see what some of your guys' team rating is as well. Quick look at the AI transfers, see what they suggest. Okay, the AI transfers are suggesting that I swap Martinelli out for Mitoma and Jackson out for Gabriel Jesus, which in fairness would make my team a lot more template. So there are options there. If I want to go template, maybe I do something like this and just kind of pick the same team as a lot of other people and try and go safe at the start of the season. That is the suggestions, the recommendations based on the very clever and smart artificial intelligence robots. Make sure you go check that tool out, guys. I've left a link at the top of the description. You can have a look at your team and your team rating absolutely for free. So there's really no harm in just having a look. But if you do want to get the full version and access to all of the Fantasy Football Hub tools, they do have 50% off right now during the summer. So if you get your subscription in very soon, you will get it for half price, which is very nice. And they're also running a deal right now, which means you get your money back if you win your mini league. So if you win your mini league that you're in right now, your whole subscription that you have paid for Fantasy Football Hub, at the end of the season, they'll give you your money back. So if you are confident that you can win your mini league, you get a free service. And honestly, I use this stuff all the time, like constantly, like literally, I'm not even joking, for hours every single day. Wouldn't recommend it to you guys if I didn't really, really love it. So there we go, guys. Make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing, but that's going to be it from me today. See you tomorrow for another video. Aside from that, thank you so much for watching once again, and I will see you later, mates. Bye-bye.